All right, everyone. Six Secret Service agents have been suspended without pay for various periods of time, link in the description archive, of course, following an investigation into what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. You'll remember when Donald Trump was actually shot and almost got brained, but turned his head at exactly the right moment. Call it an act of God, coincidence, whatever you want to call it. He managed to survive, with a little piece of his ear damaged, of course. So they've put them on unpaid leave. I don't think that this goes far enough. If you suspect that someone whose literally sole role is to protect the President of the United States has been derelict in their duty, they should just be outright fired. They should not be put on unpaid leave and then be allowed to return to the job even in a limited role because they weren't doing their job. This is like, your fry cook has caused 20 cases of, food poisoning in the last month. Well, I'm putting you on unpaid leave. Think about what you did. No, they're a bad fry cook. You should just fire them. You should just get rid of them entirely. They shouldn't even be there. So while it is, I mean, they are giving punishment, so credit where credit's due. It's not enough punishment. These people need to be punished far more than that. I'm assuming it's not the agents that piled on top of Donald Trump instantaneously when he dropped to the ground. I'm assuming that these are agents that were in the general vicinity or overseeing logistics, and whoops, the logistics didn't go as planned. Well, that's real shitty. It's a real shame. We need to have cohesive defense around Trump, and what I've advised over and over again is that Trump needs to get his own private security in there and/or a group of U.S. Marines or something like that, and not rely on the Secret Service because it appears that they've been compromised. And I think I'm thinking the same thing that many of you are thinking, which is that the Secret Service has acted in a way before that is not necessarily in keeping with their vow to defend the president. Just look at JFK's motorcade and the Secret Service standoff, by the way, and look that up. And I've actually linked that out to people before. It's an incident right before JFK turns onto the famous square in Dallas, where the governor just, waves like this, and the Secret Service that normally would be riding the tail fins, making it impossible to hit the president from the back, they just shrugged their shoulders multiple times and said, I don't know what's going on, and then stood off to the side. Secret Service stand down, yeah, with JFK. So since this can happen, it could happen again. This is a risk. And Donald Trump, so far, generally speaking, is doing a good job. There are some problems at this point, certainly with the FBI and other groups, and Trump needs to be careful of the intel agencies and the people tasked with protecting him. Because look at this. This is effectively an admission that the Secret Service did not do its due diligence that day. Well, if the Secret Service ain't going to protect him, who the fuck is? Some random person in the crowd is more likely to spot the shooter and take him out before the Secret Service can. This makes absolutely no sense. If I were at a Trump rally, would I be practicing situational awareness? Yeah, because number one, you've got a big target. Number two, you've got a lot of people who fucking hate him. And number three, they're beginning to buy more guns, leftoids actually. So, these three things combined and could lead to a situation where something goes wrong. So if you see something, do something, I would say, in that particular situation. It's not even for love of Trump at that point. It's more like, hey, I might get shot. I might want to do something about this. That might make sense, right? Uh, but we've got six members of the Secret Service getting suspended. I'm just flabbergasted at why they're not just firing them. Certainly you can find other people that are reliable, more reliable than these six, for that same role. I mean, certainly you can find people from other agencies and say, hey, you want to work for the Secret Service? Yeah. Okay, well, then you're hired. I don't understand why they're just putting them on unpaid leave, actually. Punishment? Yes. Fitting? Yes. Is it excessive? No, not by any means. This is a relatively weak punishment. Oh my God, I got to take 2 weeks off from my job and not get paid. Well, you work for the fucking Secret Service. I would think that probably you're making a relatively decent amount of money in such a role. Basically, you're like a CIA agent that's solely tasked with defending one particular human being. Uh, at that point, it's not really that much of a punishment now, is it? No, not really. 2 weeks of unpaid leave. Or up to 40 days. Some of them got like 40 days unpaid leave and stuff. That'd be a little bit more of an inconvenience. Shit. I'm gonna have to, dumb down my spending in order to make rent this week. But, I don't have to work, so I can do odd jobs on the side. And then they go on Reddit or something like that and, spill the beans with regards to how it is to be a Secret Service agent or some shit like that. It's not enough punishment, in my opinion. I think outright firing should be the punishment for all six of these individuals. If a person in such a critical role is going to be punished at all for dereliction of duty, effectively, and we don't know the details of here is being punished. If you're going to be punished at all, it should basically be a yay or a nay. Yay, you stay a Secret Service agent, you didn't really do anything terribly wrong or something, so you keep your job. Nay, you get fucking fired. We kick you out, you never come back again, go get a job in private security or something like that. That's the way that it should work with a group that is important as the Secret Service. Again, there's a reason why I've said Donald Trump should not be trusting this particular bureaucratic organization for his safety. Private security and or military detail would be much more effective. Now, you get a good platoon of Marines there. Even if they're fucking trainees, they'll probably do a better job than what we saw in Butler. It was a shit show. It was a freak show. Multiple lines of security were breached effortlessly by some acne-scarred retard. Uh, I think that speaks to their capability. Putin was laughing that day, let's put it that way. He's got jujitsu practicing Spetsnaz all around him 24/7. That's about all. Peace out.